EPA DWA meteorologist Bobby Martich here with your outlook for the weekend, December 26th and 27th, 2020. Hope everybody had a wonderful Christmas holiday, and hopefully you survived the power outages. There were a number of power outages across the region, especially in our eastern areas that were especially hard hit with those power outages, and some flooding. So there are still some flood warnings out and active across our region, although they are coming down a little bit. But some of those rivers were going way over, and that's a consequence of having rapid snowmelt. This is mainly from the farther north. We had the rapid snowmelt in combination with that heavy rain, and it all has to go somewhere. It's not necessarily going to stick up there in parts of northeast PA, north central PA. It works its way southward the way the rivers flow, so areas further to the south had issues with that as well, and are continuing to have issues, especially along the Susquehanna River and the tributaries, Lehigh River, parts of the Delaware River. There's still some issues there. So hopefully over the next couple of days, we're going to have a chance to dry out here this weekend and not looking at any precipitation. It is going to be cold today. We're going to have temperatures not getting above freezing in just about everywhere across our region. Very cold day here. Most of you will stay in the 20s. A little bit of a breeze, not too much, but it'll keep the wind chills in the teens and lower 20s. So it'll definitely be cold if you're going outside today. Make sure you bundle up, and then clear overnight tonight with a low on either side of 20 degrees. Now Sunday we're going to moderate a little bit. Sunday's going to have another mostly sunny day again, and but temperatures are going to be back to near average for this time of year. So 38, 40-ish or thereabout. Say 36 to 40, somewhere in that range from north to south here on Sunday. But again, mostly sunny skies are expected. Now once we get to Monday, we have a system passing off to our north, and a long time ago this was once a storm signal. It is not going to be a storm signal when I update the long range today, obviously. We are going to identify some other ones here, but it looks like the first week of January that looked really, really active is now going to require perfect timing in order to produce, because we're going to be in this up and down pattern this week. It doesn't really look like it's going to let go of that once we get into the first week of January, kind of up and down there too. And so we'll get into that in the long range today when I update that later this morning. This is going to be a day late. Normally it's every Friday. Doing it Saturday morning because of the holiday. I'm probably going to do the same thing next week for New Year's, but we'll get to cross that bridge when we get there. But with the system moving off to the north, it's just a weak front that's going to be moving through the region. We're expecting a passing rain and or snow shower across the region here on Monday, mainly just early. And then this moves away. Could be a few flurries across northern areas here Monday night and Tuesday as a lake effect gets going again, but we're going to get colder once again. So Monday's going to warm up considerably. We're near average on Sunday. We're above average on Monday, getting back into the low to mid 40s for highs. And then when we get to Tuesday, we're right back down to freezing again for highs, or pretty close to it. So there's the roller coaster we're talking about. And then Wednesday goes right back to moderation, similar to what we're expecting on Sunday, near average again. Okay, it's going to be Wednesday's going to be a partly to mostly cloudy day. We'll have clouds move in later in the day as high pressure moves offshore, and we have this system to contend with that's going to come in on New Year's Eve. And it does look like this is an all rain event here, but this is very similar in a lot of ways to what happened on Christmas Eve, but not nearly as strong with this one. It is going to be very warm and mild out ahead of this. You are going to have rain here, going to have snow, it looks like, here on the western side in Pittsburgh. So a lot of some similarities here, deep trough behind it. But the low-level jet this time is not aligned with it, so we're not looking like it's going to be a high wind event, at least not right now. And it doesn't look like the low pressure moving across the boundary here, which is shown, is going to be that strong, which will cut down on some of these insane rainfall amounts that we had. And it's going to be a little bit better anyway because there's not going to be snow on the ground prior to this. So you won't have the heavy rain in combination with the snowmelt this time to deal with. It'll just be rain. But hopefully we can keep this to a minimum. And right now it does not look to be as potent as what we were dealing with on Christmas Eve. So maybe about half of what that storm was, if that's the case. But it's a very similar setup otherwise, and it does look like same deal here. It just ends as rain in most areas, maybe a few flakes in far northern areas here on New Year's Day. But this is going to come in later in the day on New Year's and continue during the overnight, and then ends on Friday morning, which is, of course, New Year's Day. So once this moves through, we get colder air sitting here behind us again. So again, the up and down stuff. And once that front moves through on Friday morning, New Year's Day, similar to Christmas Day, temperatures are going to rapidly fall. and we'll go from 50s to near 60 down to 30s in a matter of hours again. So a very similar situation in that regard. But we will cross that bridge when we get there as far as what we're looking at for the week ahead. And once we get further into the week here, we'll get a little more detail about that system exactly and what we're dealing with. But right now, it doesn't look like it's going to be too bad. Again, we'll cross that bridge when we get there. I'm EPAWA meteorologist Bobby Marchus. That is your outlook for the weekend, December 26th and 27th, 2020. Have a great Saturday and Sunday.